Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Got another machining project to go ahead and get started on. This is something that I've had this for a couple weeks now, and I need to go ahead and get it done. And I wanted to go ahead and get some video of it to show you how I'm going to make it. So it's basically a washer is what it is, but it's slightly dished so that it creates a mating face out here on this diameter, you know, out here towards the outer diameter. And it just slides on a shaft, and then a washer nut goes up there. You can see this one is kind of worn. It's spun, and they asked me if I could make another one. And this one is actually made out of aluminum, but he said it didn't matter if it was aluminum or steel. So I've actually got some steel right here. I'm going to use some of this 1045 piece of that scrap chrome rod. Because I did not have a piece of aluminum quite this size. I had one a little bit smaller, so I didn't want to buy a big piece of aluminum just for this one little washer here. So we're going to make it out of that piece of steel right there. All right, and we'll show you how we do it. So we're going to make the OD 110 millimeter. You metric guys probably like this. 110 millimeter on the OD, 20 millimeter ID, and 1/8 thick. So we're going to give a little mix right there. All right, so, and we'll use our 4-jaw chuck. We'll go over there and get this indicated. Probably use the Victor lathe. And we've got approximately 5 degrees of angle here on the inside and the outside. So let's go ahead and get started on it. All right, let's go ahead and get this piece indicated. I think that's going to give me, that'll give me plenty of material there to work with. Not really that critical, you know. We're just getting her trued up, and I don't know if it's perfectly straight either. It's not. I can see it jumping a little bit right there. I want to give the I don't even know if it fit in here. I was going to say, let's give that big indicator a shot real quick just to see. Feels a little weird trying to set this big indicator up right here by the chuck, but let's give it a shot. Just play around. Half a thousandths right there, and you can see the needle jumping. That's actually the finish that's put on from the factory whenever they grind it. You'd be surprised, even though that's a nice smooth chrome plating there, sometimes the stuff actually kind of roars whenever you put it in a roller steady rest, just because of that, what you see right there. All right, well, let's go ahead and get some machining done on it. Got to turn a little bit extra, just give me a little bit more room there. I'm using a parting tool. And the OD is not really that critical. We're just making it as close to the original part as we can. So we're going to go 110 millimeter. 65. All right, we got 65 to come on. Okay, 331. Okay, I'm going to use this tool here I like to use for chamfering. Okay, I went ahead and got a little pilot hole drilled through there. We're going to use a 49/64, and then I've got this 20 millimeter chucking reamer that we'll use to bring it to size right there. All right, here goes the reamer. This should have given it approximately 20 thousandths to cut out the size. Typically on a reamer, you try to shoot for one drill size under, like 1/64 under size is kind of ideal. Okay. All right, so we're gonna kick the compound around to this side, and I'm going to give it about 5 degrees. And I forgot that I have to use an angle finder to do that on this lathe, because it's only got the degrees here on the back side. So let me go set up a protractor. I'll be right back. I just line it up on the side of the cross slide here and go across the front of the compound. And this is not a super critical angle, so doing it that way is going to be adequate. All right, give it a little check. Good. All right, so this is where I'm going to be cutting. I'm going to be cutting this disc shape out right here, and I measured this. We're going to make it approximately 3 1/4. And there's different ways you can go about doing this. You know, one way you could scribe you a line on there and come to it, you know, blue it, scribe you a line. There's all kind of ways. This isn't very critical, as I keep saying, so we're just going to scale it. Okay, we'll just eyeball it to about 3 1/4. Let's see, we're at about 600. This isn't my favorite kind of op right here. You don't have a lot of room over here. Okay. just kind of roughing it off there, and then we'll make us a nice smooth pass once we get it where we want it. We still got a little ways to go. I think we're there. That looks like about 3 1/4. Very nice. So we'll what I'll do, this is not going to be really all that thick. I just dropped my scale there. Just going to use one of the Noga deburr tools. I'm just going to chamfer it that way, just like that. And I'll do some fine polishing right through here with some emery paper. All right, and then we're going to come over here to this side, and we'll use a parting tool to go in there and kind of do the same thing. We're going to have an angle. We're going to have an angle here. All right, and then we're going to have a straight flat area right up in here. Okay, right now I'm getting my tool squared up, and you can see I can run this back and forth. My indicator pretty well 0, so we know we're nice and straight going into the part there. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and plunge in and remove some of this metal back here, and we're gonna bring it to the largest diameter that's going to have a straight face on the back side, and I'm going to set that at 1 3/4. And then once we do that, then I'll come over here and I'll use the compound to run in there and cut the angle on the front side to match the back right here. Okay, this is more stick out than I like on a parting blade. I don't like doing this, but this is just the way I decided to do it. Try to get it all done in one shot and part it off. So once I get this angle cut, we're going to have to pull this out just a little bit more so that we can part it completely off there. Okay, here we go. I'm going to smoke it up a little bit in the shop because I don't have coolant on this lathe, so we're going to use a little bit of our cutting oil. This lathe does not like parting, man. Not at all. Especially those wide inserts like that. Alright, actually I need to change this thing out. It's got a bad spot in it. Okay, I had to tighten things up a little bit and use the tailstock. I got a fresh insert in there. I'm going to take this on down to 1 3/4 inches, okay? So it's going to take me a minute. We'll bring it back. All right, we're going to go ahead and use some spring calipers to get in here and get us a little bit closer measurement. All right, just touching, going over the diameter there. And it looks like we are about 1 7/8. So we're going to go in there another 1/8 of an inch. And I'm using the eagle now. Okay, a little off, maybe about 30 thousandths. So that's putting us pretty close. So I want to go ahead and what I'm going to do is move this tool over here, and I'm going to cut that again because I want a little relief in there, all right, for the chips. And then we're going to come over here and cut this angle. Okay, we got her widened down to the diameter that we want. So we're going to go ahead and cut the angle on this side right here. Okay, going to use the compound just like it did on this back side. And we're just going to play with our speed here. We may have to slow her down, I don't know yet. I'll go get my pliers handy so I can move them chips. We'll go ahead and thin her down just a little bit. Take it to about 1/8 of an inch. All right, this is going to be my final cut across the angled face here. I'm going to slow my feed rate down and go in a little bit slower. Try to get a little bit better finish there. I'm going to go in there with my file and some emery paper. I'm pulling it up on my file here, and I want to just kind of polish that. That's going to be the outside face there. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to reset my tool now, and then we'll go ahead and finish parting it off, all right? All right, let's see if we can finish this up. We got a little brass rod in there to catch it, and I'm hoping that we can get it done without it chattering on us. But it's not going to. Wow. This little Victor lathe just does not like these carbide parting tools, man. See if I can get up underneath it. Coming up on it. There it is. All right, stop the lathe. Okay. It's probably going to be pretty hot. All right, there we are. So, got to do a little deburr and some cleaning up. All right, guys, this one's done. I went ahead and did a deburr with the Noga tool. So, a little comparison of the old versus the new. Now, of course, I would have liked to have had a better surface finish on this right here, and there are plenty of ways that you could set this back up or do it differently to achieve a better surface finish, like on the back side right here. If you really needed a nice smooth finish right there, you could set it back up, since I've got a flat area there, and you could push it up and friction turn it and go in there and recut the angle if you wanted to. But what this is going to be used for, there's nothing wrong with this right here. It's just a washer is all it is, really. So I think it turned out pretty good. We hit our hole size on 788, you know, so we're at 20 mil on that. It just fits over a 20 mil shaft, and it has another washer and a nut that pulls it up tight. So there we have it. Okay, another job done, and we'll let them know it's finished up. Thanks for watching, guys.